start in a few minutes. Good morning, everyone. We're still waiting for a few people to connect. I'm just checking that all the groups have uploaded your work in the drive. If not, please do so before we start. Hello. Hi.
Hi, sorry, I think you have unmuted me. How are you? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I think we can start, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome to turn on your camera so we can see everybody. We can all say good morning to everybody. Good afternoon to China. So it's been an intense week. We hope that you had a good time. We can. We're really excited to see what you've learned, what you did, what you produced, what you invented. So we would like to start the presentations. A big thank you to everybody, to the workshop leaders, to the workshop groups, to our partners, to Despina, to the team, to everybody. I think we can start. Despina, you'd like to say something before we start?
From my side, I would also like to thank everyone for the hard work. We know that was a challenging organization for everyone, for the workshop leaders, the students, the organizing team, and yeah, we hope that as long as the situation is going to improve with COVID and stuff, we're going to retrieve our physical event. That's our main sport, so we can actually be together in the same place and same connected, same ideas. Yeah, thank you very much for all the hard work. Thank you for being with us in all both the in-situ events and the online activities. And yeah, we're really looking forward to the results and the presentations.
Despina, your microphone is going on and off, and it's a little hard to hear the whole sentence. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm in a bit challenging situation because I'm in a hotel, so my setup is not exactly ideal, to be honest.
It's better. So, we can hear you better, actually.
Okay, I'll hold it then. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry.
Thank you. I think we can start, right?
Yes. Shall we start with the group, the first group?
Workshop 2 from Messe, but I'm not sure if they are here. Are they? Is workshop 2 here? Okay, maybe we can start with workshop 4 then with Ellie and Maria. Is that all right?
It's fine by us if you want.
Great. I will. I stopped sharing, so you can start your sharing screen.
Okay, thank you. Let me just check. I think 4 of the five members are in the chat right now, the meeting right now. Okay, we can do it anyway, maybe. We don't want to postpone your program. We will share our screen shortly. Sorry, just another minute. We have a small problem right now. Sorry.
Problem?
Okay, I think you can see our screen now. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes, thank you very much. So, hello from us. We are Little Architecture. And we were very glad to be invited by ECOWEEK to be in the team of workshop leaders and design a workshop for this year's event. I will not get into detail with the whole idea behind the designing of this workshop. In an introduction level, I will only talk about how we see the design process. And in this workshop, sorry for the sound, I'm very sorry for the background noise. In this workshop, we planned to get involved with the three of the four stages we see in the designing of a project. So we got into researching the spot, and then we asked from the team to design their initial ideas and proposals. And then the main part of our idea was to implement participation and connect it to the design process. So the final part for the final part of what we asked from the group was to design and organize a layout for a workshop for participatory workshops. So the last step, implementation, is one we did not have the chance to do this year, but it's always open, and we hope that someday these workshops can actually take place in EGNA. Now I will stop and give and ask Iliana, I think she's, I'm sorry, Shirley, because that was the first group, to present their own project. And then Iliana for group number 2. Thank you.
Maybe we need to do presentation now. Yeah.
You can talk about your project. We have all the images here, and I will scroll. You can present what you have sent to us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We are the group A. Our design aim is to reuse waste materials to build a participatory device activation space. The first day, we know the project set through Google Maps. It is planned to intervene in the city by means of micro intervention and marks the 4 points of the intervention set. The next day, we made an initial sketch according to the 4 points we marked. On the third day, we made an in-depth design of the point in the 4 points. First, we looked for some reference drawings. We hope to use waste PVC pipes, plastic bottles, plastic straps, color plastic sheets, fishing lines, and fishing nets for recognition design. Secondly, we brainstorm and sketch out the possibility of space. Finally, we extract the sense of touch, smell, and listen according to human behavior perception. We extract the concepts of climbing, working, hiding, and balance according to human behavior. Combined with our design raw materials, we jointly express the concepts of sustainable design. On the fourth day, we planned the workshop activities, divided the workshop into suggestion group and construction group, and made a reasonable planning. Finally, completed our concept renderings. Yeah, we hope to express interesting, open, shared, and sustainable playground that everyone can use without defining the function of the place through reusable materials. Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you for
Liana,
the presentation. Congratulations.
is any of you here from group
I'm
By
B?
the way, the areas of intervention, there are the 4 points you're showing. One is at Kivernio, I see. The other is in the front, front of the island of the city. The other is in the port. And what's the 4th place? It's not clear.
It's on Kazantzakis Street. It's a
Ah.
small unused space. Maybe group B can also present and then discuss it all
Sure.
together.
Yes. Absolutely. I was just trying to orient myself. Okay, thanks.
Yorgos, can you start?
Yeah, of course. You have to excuse me, I have a problem with my connection, so I will not open my camera. But I will say what is to be said.
That's fine.
Well, me and my partner, who is not here right now, saw there a little bit and then chose a special place of recommended intervention close to the Archaeological Museum of Apollo, to the Temple of Apollo and the Archaeological Museum, pretty close to Aegina Port, near the main road of Aegina, and also close to the elementary school. We wanted to see about the place that is also really culturally appropriate place, an easy place to access, and also benefit children. We wanted to make crossings about the street because the city was one of the main problems, because one of the main things we wanted to do is create a safe environment. And we have many different options about that, like a really big crossing or maybe something like a bridge. We wanted to make plants. We wanted to make a fence around the area. Also, the area has some really intense natural boundaries with the type of the formations of the grounds, which also helped us settle this place, because we don't need just putting fences around, but the whole area help us see that this is the greatest place to do it. We made some proposals about what we should do there. It's a really big area. It's about 6,440 square meters. And some of the proposals were like a mini refectory, a botanic garden, a play area, a sculpture park where Aegean artists can expose their sculptures like Barozos, a meeting point with canopies and sun points, also with many different trees, and also a dog park. That the concept behind the dog park is that Aegina has many dog shelters, and we wanted to make this park so the sellers can take trips to the area, take the dogs out to play, and then introduce them to people. We do not. We want the dogs to go to people and meet them, and not make the people go to the dogs. And here we begin with the workshop and also a little campaign that we did. The workshop is called Regathering, or Not Another Monopoly, where we will do it to the Archaeological Museum of Aegina. It will last a few hours and also a few days, and it will interest groups of 10s of random people, regardless of age and regardless of gender, regardless if they live in Aegina or not. It is referred to everyone. The whole concept behind this is a board game. We will put in the first stage a big map after an open conversation of the city of Aegina. Then ask some questions like, where do you go for a walk? Where do your dogs walk? Where do you find parks? Where do you watch the sea? And then make the people show us with tips the points that they refer to. After that, we will go a different type of map, which is the map of the selected area that we wanted. And then with Lego bricks, we wanted to make a proposal about the area, just putting the uses that we saw up top, like the dog park or the canopies or the botanic garden, and make them create an image of the public space themselves. After taking into consideration, of course, our design and what the open conversation that is going to happen, and the image of the public space that the people have created, then we want to make the final design and create a new public space for Aegina. Also, we have a few posters about this, like a campaign, just to introduce people to that, to make it interesting to them. Like, have you ever thought, what do you think? And also it goes with the hashtag regather, referring to the title of the project, Regathering. Have you ever thought what to post on Instagram, referring to the sea, referring to the landscapes of the place that we've chosen? We just want to make a safe place for the Aeginian people and also the tourists, also the visitors, to gather, to make exhibitions, to go for a walk, and you can go to the sea publicly, and not by not having like their own equipment or depending on any stores. We want to make a public safe place for everyone with many activities to fill the voids that we saw that Aegina got, and also the voids we want to discover by talking to the people.
Thank you. That is all from Workshop 4. Thanks again for inviting us and giving us this opportunity to experiment with this hands-on approach on designing a participatory process for designing urban space. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very nice. Despina, you'd like to
Yeah, it's
say something?
very interesting, and I must say, after coming back from Aegina, I can really imagine like those suggestions in my mind, because what's happening, especially like in the areas that you've selected, it's crazy, like it is active, but it's active in a totally different way. It's just like all those kind of restaurants that they took over the place. So actually proposing, suggesting something that activated in a totally different way. I have to hold my microphone, sorry. Suggesting something that can activate people and make people think in a totally different way than, only thinking about tourism or only just thinking to go out for a coffee. It's very interesting. And I have a question. What was your criteria for selecting those areas? Was it proximity to the port? Was it the historic character of them?
Well, I can answer for my team's area. Well, we just went a bit to Google Maps and Street View. We wanted quite a bit of large area to do some interventions, because we knew that the public space of Aegina has many voids, as I said, and we wanted a place so we could expand. Also, we want a quiet place, and also we want a safe place. We want a place near a school, just to portray all that we want to do this for the children. We want to do this for something really, something really relaxing. And we saw an old playground, which probably now it's closed because of the new European laws about playgrounds. We saw a bit the landscaping around it. Behind that, now there's a parking lot. Also, there are many natural paths and also a few man-made paths. So creating the paths between all this big area will not be a problem because they're already there. In the contrary, will not destroy any of the landscaping. We will actually enhance it with new vegetation. And we thought that it is in front of the sea, it is in front of the Archaeological Museum, the Temple of Apollo, it's close to a school. It used to be a playground, so this used to be a reclaimed public space, which is now rotting. And we wanted to give it like a new look. We wanted to give it something that you can go there. You can have activities with the museum. It was perfect. It was really an educational space, a space that we can expand our uses, a place close to the sea. It had everything.
Perfect. Thank you. And I must admit, I've seen on the panel that you've been writing about the stencil areas and the stencil on some of those areas. And I must admit, that was our initial thought when we were planning the physical format of the workshops. So I'm really glad, that we're really like, have the same thoughts about it. Thank you very much. Elias, I don't know if you have anything to add. You are more local to Aegina than me.
Yeah. No, I think it's brilliant that even from afar, with the given tools of Google Maps and a bit of understanding and background on Aegina, you really pinpoint some very sensitive areas which we thought of also addressing them during the initial planning of the event, where a walk would connect also some of the points that you've chosen, because there are very key points to the history of Aegina, to the urban experience of Aegina. So I think it's really very, very good identification and very good process. I think that the ideas, first of all, the group one, I think the systematic way with which you created the methodology, I think it's very good, and it's very, very good that it's local and that it's relevant to the local context of Aegina. And I think the second group that made a biggest focus on one area, which is the Archaeological Museum, also started to touch upon some very important points, and also started to make some very important connections. For example, I wrote down about the walk, that you thought about a walk next to the wall, and an issue of Aegina is actually that walkability in Aegina, although it's an island and it's supposed to be a very walkable place, it's extremely dangerous to walk because there's no sidewalks. Cars are dominating, and of course, they have the Greek attitude of the road, it's theirs, and whoever is walking on it should just get out of it. And so it's really dangerous, especially for Europeans who come to Aegina and try to walk. They think that it's like in Europe, but it's not. So it's really dangerous. So I think you touched upon that, and I think that's very important. I think the fact that you're making the connection between the dog park and the fact that there's a dog shelter in Aegina, I think that's a good idea of starting to connect remote things that happen in Aegina, to connect them where people are, because very few people go to Faza. It's called Faza, the dog shelter. Very few people go there. And the minute you create a connection, like a satellite event in the city, people start to realize that this place exists. So I think that's very important. So you're creating like a little pavilions to tell us about things that happen in the island, that people don't go there. So I think that's brilliant. Also, I think the idea that you're starting to touch upon public space, which is suffering in Aegina, although again, it's an island, it's a place where public space should be, dominant. Nevertheless, it's deserted, it's badly designed. Very often it's not accessible. So it's definitely a very good observation that you're making, and a very good idea that you're trying to improve it. I think that's brilliant. Now, one thing that I think that, okay, also the idea of the game, I think it's a nice idea. Game is an activator, and that we heard in the lectures. So I mean, I think we can think as game as an activator, not game as a game, because we need activators, because people have become very passive. A lot of people who come to Aegina are consumers of culture, consumers of tourism, consumers of good vacation. They're consumers, they're not active. And I think the idea of activating people, it's brilliant. the question is how to activate him and with what and on what. And I think here that there are a lot of problems in Egina, like all over Greece. For example, waste, small waste, like plastic bottles people throw everywhere, cigarette butts people throw everywhere. So I think it could be a nice idea to connect again, make a connection between the game or the activation with perhaps instead of bringing Lego pieces or other manufactured plastic pieces that will end up also in the streets, to actually collect cigarette butts, and with the cigarette butts to make your game on that monopoly or on that game, so that by collecting waste, you're cleaning the island, but you're also activating the game. So you're becoming an activator, playful activator, but you're also producing a cleaner environment. And I can assure you that this would be amazing a contribution to the island, because Greeks, unfortunately, are very used to throwing their cigarette butts all over the place. I've been collecting cigarette butts from August 3 that I came. I've collected probably about 10 bags of cigarette butts, because my concern is that they don't end up in the sea, because I've seen a lot of cigarette butts that have been in the water, and the fish have eaten up the filter, and they have started to be exposed to the tar in the cigarette, which is basically toxic. It's dangerous, and it can end up in the fish and then end up in our dish. So it's very dangerous. So if we can connect this game, this activator, with collecting waste, I think we've made an incredible contribution both to the people who participate in the game and also to the island. So that's my only, let's say, addition to what the ideas, which I think they're amazing and excellent and brilliant. The only thing that I would add that would also make this more ecological and more contribute more to the island. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
it's a wonderful addition, I must say. I must say.
I'm just sharing this addition as my concern from day one coming to Egina and trying to prevent fish smoking. You know, I felt like, you know, I'm going into the water, I see the fish. You know, when you swim and you don't bother the fish swim with you, and it's brilliant. You know, you just see a lot of fish swimming with you, and they're really funny the way they look at you. So I'm just telling them, don't eat plastic. You know? Trying to preach the fish, you know, don't eat plastic. You know, it's not good for you. Anyway, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
And
who's next?
time.
Is MS's group? Oh, MS is here. Great. Shall we go with the group
Yes.
2? Yeah.
Yeah, if my team is ready for that. Hello for everyone.
Hello. Hello.
I can see the girls here. Yeah, here they are, and they have a beautiful presentation. So, stage is yours, girls. I'm here with you. Who will be the presenter? Diane, maybe? Then could
yeah, but I will present with Helen. Yeah, she is the first, and I will be the second. Yeah.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Helen from workshop 2. I'm very honored to be here to present the results of our work. First, let me introduce our team members. They are Diana, Sherry, Mary, and Helen, and it's me. During the workshop, our team member made a prototype app under the guidance of our workshop leader, MS. Then I will give a very short introduction of our app. Our design challenge is to gamify the future of sustainable development. We designed a platform to connect the community and the natural environment into a collaborative cycle. We explore expanded ideas for recycling. Of course, it wasn't an overnight process, and we had several discussions with MS in the team. At the beginning of the design, we first analyzed some existing game apps on the market using SWOT model and summarized their operation mechanism. According to the theme of sustainable development, we had a brainstorming and each person proposed an app idea. Finally, we decided the optimum plan through voting, added some good ideas to it, and finally present our current app, The Fate of Waste, and this is our app's logo. Our app's mission is that there's no rubbish in the world, but it depends on how to deal with them. It is an app that focuses on turning unused items into value. In the app, you can make your unused items valuable by sharing them. You can also use money or points to buy second-hand items you need. There exist communities in the app that can communicate and compete with each other. Of course, penalty will be triggered if users violate regulations, such as low-carbon travel rules or goods that do not match the information posted. The penalty is to lose points and reduce exposure to your product. Then my teammate will introduce the details of the app and its user flows.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We will introduce some detailed information about our application by using the user flow. This is MS tell us, and I think this will be a good example for users to know our application. Now, when you open the app, you can see this screen, and this is our logo of our project, and we divided the screen into 3 parts. This part introduce something about the user himself, and this one is the point the users have received, and this one is her own pictures to tell others who are you, and this is and the right one is entrance of other functions about this app, and this line can show that how many steps you have worked, and the next part is this. This is some recommend about the items you can receive by this app. And the bottom of the app is the most important thing for our application. And you can know something about this app by this 3 bottom. And we think the users can be a buyer or shyer when he uses this app. Oh, sorry, maybe there's some noise. If you are a buyer, you can choose this free zone, and you can see this screen when you choose one. The free zone for users, it means you can receive something by using your points. Yeah, these points you can receive by working or sharing the second-hand items or something else. You can receive something here by using points. When you choose one, you maybe your points is insufficient, so you need to receive more points by your behaviors. But if you have enough, you can know some detailed information about it, and when you choose, you confirm it. You can say like a recommendation to tell you you can walk to the items. Then you will have extra points. After that, you can if you choose the walk, you may have 100 plus 200 points. Yeah. And if you choose to choose the zone of shopping zone, the left one, you can see a category of it, and you can choose some different things here. And these are detailed information about it. When you, if you want to know more about it, you can talk with the owner of it. And if not, you can confirm it and buy it. Yeah. Yeah, there also a recommendation to you to walk there or just or by bus. Yeah, and if you have some second-hand item and you are a shyer, you can click the camera robot button. And there will be two options for you. The first is share it. You can share it by filling out this registration about your items, and you can write down some information about it. And then you will get your points. And if others received your items, they can write down some comment on your items. But if you want to recycle it, you can see a map on the application, and you can see some recycle stations here near your community. And if you choose one, you can go there. When you go there, and you also have some points. And the last one is the function of the me. Yeah, there's still some other function about it. The first is the my community function. You can say a rank here, and they may be your friends, and you can say where are you, and you also can chat with your friends here. And because there will be an exchange on this app, so there may be something need your online service, and they also can give you some help. Yeah, that's all.
Very nice. Very interesting.
That's all.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Maybe there are still some shortage about it, but if I think we can improve it better in the future. Yeah.
Very interesting, because both in this session and the previous one, we have seen quite a lot the incorporation of new technologies and the applications of in our projects. And I think that's very interesting, because when you actually, first of all, okay, you really follow, what's happening in the society, and the applications, the internet, like have overtaken everything, of course. And I think it's very interesting because you can activate more people, and people can feel a bit more associated and can relate a bit more, because it becomes too personal. It's what we realized with Elias, when we were in Egina, it was very hard for local people to come together and discuss about topics. But I think when technology comes into play, it can become really viral. It can become viral like in a minute. It's impressive, the use of technology, and I think, as an idea, it's brilliant. I would really love to see a startup with that. Have you thought that sorry. Yeah, have you thought how you could incorporate the governance and how you could incorporate the local authorities into this application? Maybe they could also be part of this application. They can provide suggestions and or solutions. So you can report problems of I don't know, any problems like there might be rabbits there, or might be and actually help them doing the job.
Maybe you mean that the government, how they can join this?
Yeah, I think that all other organizations, it can be a really alive and vivid application with many organizations, coming together and working together towards the direction.
Other organizations.
It's fine.
And I know, I know this app. It should be more attractive to let people to use it. Yeah, I know it. Maybe we just set up this system to encourage people to receive how to say it, just to receive more points by their behaviors, and they can use their points to for other things, to they just buy these things free. And I think maybe this is a award for them. And if their friends are using it, the community are using it, yeah, I think maybe they will be more popular for other people who haven't used it. Yeah, maybe, and the government maybe, if I haven't thought more about it. Yeah,
it's all right. It's brilliant. I think it's really impressive. Like for especially the time you had. It's fantastic. Well done.
Yeah.
I wanted to first of all congratulate the team. I think it was really very smart and very, very. I think it was brilliant actually. The idea that you're creating this whole new culture of becoming aware of the things that we have and the things we would like to get rid of, and what do we do with them. And there's a lot of people who have things to give, and there's a lot of people who like to collect things. So that could be an amazing opportunity for both to do it without throwing it out, or without becoming a burden to the environmental sort of balance. So I think that could be really amazing. And I like the way you made it sound so simple. I think that's definitely what is smart about applications, that they become so simple and so easy to use and so attractive that more people would like to be part of this. I have a question to MS actually, because you know more of the field. Isn't there an application like this today, like of what people could do with their waste? Because I know there are separate things happening around. Like, for example, if somebody's demolishing a building, he can look into a map of sites he could dispose of things, or she could dispose of things, or get materials from other demolition sites. I know that there is a map like this. It's called the materials harvest, or harvest map, or so. Harvest map. So, and there are systems like this that cities have developed in the United States, where developers are supposed to dispose things and recycle things, or get materials from specific radius from their site. So little bits and pieces, I assume there are, but probably there's, I don't know if I'm asking, probably there's nothing that puts everything together. I don't know, I'm asking.
Yeah. Thanks for the question. Yeah, there are existing things. For instance, just the Facebook marketplace is also kind of a second-hand market. I think the unique value in this application of or like the girls, as they mentioned, they collected different ideas. And for instance, for Helen, the air pollution was a very crucial thing. So we started to think together about that. If someone wants to pick up a product, then they can choose, as they also show, that they will pick up that item on foot, by bicycle, by something that is more eco-ethical. Even a public transport is still better than, you know, like just commuting alone by a car. So the fact that the girls come by the environmental footprint reduction in the process, and it can give you points, and then the points can let you to basically adopt free stuff. That's the totally new approach. For instance, I have something that I would like to send or sell for a specific amount of money, but then I can also challenge my friends to say that I have this super cute whatever picture, then I won't ask for that any money, but I will ask for that 100 eco-ethical points. So basically, that's the thing, that if I would like to get something, the free market was an exchange market of the environmental footprint reduction. And, you know, we had an example about the basketball that I really would like to have Helen's basketball. And I purchased it, but I went there on foot because I've seen on the map that is just 3 kilometers far away from me. So I was walking there because then I collected enough points to buy something or exchanging something with Diane. And this whole thing make the whole process hopefully uniquely gamified. So that's, I think, the unique selling point in it.
I think that's interesting because basically what you're saying is that transportation or movement becomes like a positive act instead of a negative act, because until now we have the mindset that wherever we go by using the car or driving or flying or whatever, it's a negative act because it adds CO2 to the air. But if we're walking there, if we're using the bike, then we're collecting positive. So it's not only that we're not adding negative, but we're actually creating a system of incentive of positive. So I think that's very good, because then we can think twice of taking the car, because if we walk, we collect points. So we're actually gaining by doing the right thing in a way. So I think that's brilliant. The only thing that I would maybe add or suggest maybe that it's good to think about is how this little community that where each one belongs to is connected to other satellite communities, because maybe this community lives in a certain area and has, for example, more organic waste, let's say, or it has more plastic. But there's another community somewhere else that needs organic because they have more gardens, they have more private gardens, they have more public gardens, and they would love to have your compost, you know. So it's good to also each community have an identification, you know, we produce more plastic, or we produce more of this. And then another community would say, we need more of this. So then start to making, connections between different communities. So that could be amazing, because then there would be a total zero between all the communities, because one community may not be able to achieve that.
Thank you. It's also brilliant. The girls already started to think about community engagement and how they can compete for a higher, bigger purpose. So girls, it's for you. You can develop it further. It's a very useful insight. Thanks for all of you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, okay,
Brilliant.
I got it. Yeah.
I'm super proud of you. I would like to add it. Like the whole design process was, prepared for more people and 2 teams, and then you could manage it in a very short period of time with huge time differences. So congratulations, girls, for the progress.
Thank you very much. We also thank you for suggestion about it. Yeah. This is our
Thank you
work.
all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We all create it.
If anyone else wants to add anything, or question or make a question, of course you're really free. That's why we have all the cameras here, and everyone can join and become a bit more interactive in general. Shall we move on to the next workshop, Leah?
Yes, absolutely.
Vivian and Iris? Hello, very nice to see you again.
I will leave my hair free. Good morning, everyone. Iris, are you here? Perfect. So we're calling in from Thessaloniki and Creta and Neapoli, all around the world. Thank you very much for inviting us to tutor and facilitate this workshop. It was once again an amazing experience, especially to kickstart the new season that's coming up. So thank you very much also to the organizers again for a great organization, and to all the students and participants who joined us and trusted us.
Thank you.
Iris, you want to say a word before we give the floor? No? Great, later. So I will give the floor now to our excellent collaborators, because we worked all as a team. Ladies and gents, however you would like to begin. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We are from workshop 7, time traveling through placemaking. We concentrated on Aegina Island because it is in the center of the Saroni Gulf. It has a lot of importance for antiquities, and multiple cultures came through. We worked together as a team, and we thought that we could introduce a terminology about visitor. We show the panel somewhere, I think, or I have to share also.
Aliki, I think maybe you need to share. If it's possible.
Okay, I didn't know that. Give me 1 second. Okay, here it is. Okay, this is our central panel. We took with the permission, the logo of placemaking in general. We were very inspired also by our tutors. We created something like a timeline also with our visuals. In general, so we believe that all people are visitors. They are not tourists in the way that we mean. Sometimes tourism has a bad meaning also. And we promote a motto that we don't act like locals where we go, but we are locals. So we surrender to them, and we keep the pace of any place that we go. And we believe that locals can be short or long terms. So we work like this towards participatively holistic sustainability, cultural, economical, environmental, historical, in order to highlight and enrich the quality of Aegeans who already have fun in their lives, let's say. So we want to focus on the aspect of the participation of the community and the connection with the built environment, the activation of heritage, and the interaction with culture by preserving the calm pace of Aegina. I now want to leave the floor to my co-workers. Thank you. I will keep sharing though.
Hi and good morning. I'm really glad that I'm here. So everyone looking at the panel, I suppose, to understand the place and its needs, we use the methodology of placemaking. So as understand the elements that compose the life on the island. Through this method, we also determine the types of user profiles that we felt the need to focus on according to the level of connection to the island. The user profiles have been examined through interviews in situ, use of the empathy canvas map, and use of available online information, of course. The use of the time machine has also been used to define the elements that have shaped this place throughout its history, in past and present. The power of 10 has been used to shape our proposal, while mapping has been used to visualize the present and present it. I'm sorry. Finally, the Miro board, of course, has been used throughout the whole process as a project management tool. So we should proceed.
We envision the examined user profiles. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
We can't see you, but
perfect.
we can hear you.
All right, sorry, it's because of a poor connection, so I try to avoid. So yeah, we envision the examined user profiles as both long and short-term visitors or locals of Aegina to understand their needs and wishes and to facilitate them throughout this proposal. The power of 10 has been here adapted and applied as firstly by focusing from all of the Saronic Islands specifically to Aegina, as our users are in Aegina. And on the next step, focusing on several areas in Aegina that either already host some type of unique activity that relates to our user groups or have the qualifications to do so. By working on a human scale, we propose a series of varied unique experiences and the locations that could potentially host them, which revolve around culture, food and drinks, leisure, athletics, and ruralism. In addition, tactical urbanism has been included maybe in a soft redesign proposal, which we envision to be taking place in the port view and at the center of Aegina, as it could facilitate the improvement of the well-being of the present users in aspects related to accessibility, parking areas, greenery, playgrounds, open spaces for all age, animal parks, as a previous team mentioned, and so on. Yes. Finally, we wish to...
Sorry, can I interrupt? I think you stopped sharing your screen, unless if it's a problem on my end. Sorry.
We don't see the screen, actually.
Yes, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
I think that Aliki that was sharing his screen is no longer here. Maybe she had a connection problem or something.
Oh, she just joined back.
She's rejoining now. Yes, yes.
So we were basically yes, should we? We were basically just going to say that we wish to thank Vivian Dumpa and Iris Peruliu that helped us so much and made us feel that we indeed are all working as a team, have been very inspiring, and introduced us to the word and ethics of placemaking. And what we want to get, what we want to have as an outcome of all of this is to keep in mind that at all times we're all visitors. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the time. Yes, and we're terribly sorry about the major crash. Things like that happen. It's working a week.
Problem.
Yes, in general, what we do is something very soft, and we all agreed in that because it has a specific character that we think that in place.
Well, we lost them.
We lost Aliki again.
Well, probably connection problem.
It's all right.
She's back.
Hero is back.
Okay. Yes, I will be very short. We don't want to change the character of Aegina. We want to promote the participation there and make soft interventions that generally the holistic sustainability is what we're talking about. We preserve the culture and the history, how we don't mess with the next generations, and we leave space for everyone to express themselves. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So are you proposing a specific activity? That's what I missed.
We propose a series of activities that, as the girls probably said that I was not here, are 5 in categories. So we try to enrich the already existing tourism style, touristical style, let's say, sharing experiences.
Maybe I can fill in here. For example, we are aware that there is already Moni Island that has this unique wildlife that is very friendly, and people go there. So, for example, we suggest regarding culture that, for example, tea ceremonies or meditation sessions could be taking place there. Or regarding food, we are aware that there is local cuisine that involves pistachio, and at the same time, there is agriculture related to pistachio here. So we could invite people, short-term visitors or long-term, to participate in pistachio picking, or maybe organize some workshops about cooking workshops about cooking with pistachio that could make, for example, the restaurants in the waterfront, at the waterfront, more unique, make the experience of being at the waterfront more unique. For example, the Temple of Athea is already located in this amazing place on a high, at how is it called, latitude. Therefore, we suggest that there could be added equipment perimetrically or next to it that is related to stargazing, as the place is very spiritual by itself, and the climate of Aegina allows for stars to be visible, and at the same time connect to already existing activities, organizations that host them. For example, there is this path. There are all these monasteries close to Paleochora, and we found out that there is already a team that organizes trekking sessions. And we have been thinking about connecting all these organizations and in a way directing the experience of the users, whether this is a person that anyway lives here and wants to do yoga, do trekking, or when the person is someone who is a certain visitor.
Yes, we believe that in that way we can design for the community by the community, which is very important for us. For example, we were very lucky because in our team we had also very good tutors, and we had two participants, Ciro and Konstantina, who were in Aegina, and I was not, for example, and I can share that if they weren't, I wouldn't understand we wouldn't go here because through their field research, they understood, for example, that the Aegeans are generally happy with their life, but sometimes there are some problems that there's no reason actually that there is, like the parking in the port, for example, or they don't have a lot of shade to do anything in the summer, which is not a quite big problem. It's something that can be solved. So we don't propose something major and something very big. We would like to connect what already exists and with respect, maybe make some invention and connect also more with us and the rest of Greece. And that's why in our placemaking methodology with the power of 10, we try to identify the most important points, places about the holistic sustainability in all Aegina, and not only in the center. But after we saw that most of them are in the center, we said, okay, this will not be our case study, for example, as a methodology that could be used in all Aegina or other islands.
Right. I think it's very interesting, both workshop and you've identified the locations, strategic locations, and that
that can be a very powerful tool for the community and powerful tool to the city of Aegina, because they can start with smaller areas, smaller like regions, and then they can expand to the whole island, as you suggest. And I think your message that we're all visitors is very powerful, because we had this kind of discussions that in the end it's we might live here, but we also visit here, but we are all using the same resources, and what is left behind from the tourists or from the locals is what we actually we're going to leave later in in the younger generations. And I think it's very interesting, because we've seen two different approaches between the workshops that both can work. And one like I don't know if besides like the girls who were there already, there's so much activity going on anyway. Even either if we would go with a little architectural process, either with this, I think both of the options would work, and would work perfectly, because they can activate the local people, they can activate the tourists at the same time, and to actually see the necessity of taking this route. And I love your graphics also, by the way. All of the teams, actually, I think they had great graphics. Yes. Elias?
Congratulations to the team. I think it was really, really brilliant. It was really good that Iro and Kostadina were in Aegina, and so that you had your eyes on the island, which is a good thing. You had your own eyes of the street, what Jane Jacobs used to say. So it was a good thing. And I think your identifications are very good, very much to the point. And some of the ideas are excellent. And I think that there's a lot of potential in Aegina to attract alternative tourism, something that has not been tackled enough. It has been tackled as an alternative tourism in terms of spa and well-being and massage and things that are really pampering, etc., but not activating things like volunteering groups, except for FASA maybe, and ECPAS, the wildlife shelter and the dog shelter. Otherwise, there's not a lot of activation frameworks where people can come to become to basically sweat, to pick up the pistachios and pick up the olives and step on the grapes to create wine, and to really feel the making of things, and that has not been tackled. So I think the idea that you're talking about it, I think it's to the point, exactly to the point. So I think that you really made some very good identifications. I would like to just say something about what you spoke about Moni Island, and you spoke about wildlife in Moni Island, which is true that there are wild animals there, but the wildest animals are actually the person who received a license to have a sort of I don't know, a coffee shop or a coffee stand on Monet, and it's wild that he puts music in very high volume and bothers people who come there to rest and find themselves and to be spiritual, and of course bothers the poor animals who are trying to be in their environment in a natural way. So the wildlife is more of the people coming there without any sensitivity about the place, and not so much the actual animals, which are very nice and really come to people. They come they come to people because they're very interested about all these creatures coming into their environment. It's really interesting.
If I may note something exactly on this, when I went to Moni Island, the only thing that felt totally irrelevant was this canteen, because other than that, the vibes are very tranquil, and this is what kind of inspired us, that this is a place that should be hosting quiet, smooth, activities, and exactly the opposite of this. This is the only thing that is not needed there.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
It's really a cacophony. I don't know, you know, it's the kind of thing that's so much, we see so much in Greece, that, you know, people get licenses to run businesses in such places which are so sensitive, and there's no one is checking whether they're actually keeping their part of the contract or something. You know, it's really mind-blowing, the how these things are being abused, you know, by people who have no idea what they're doing.
If I may, can I add something on what you say? For example, me, that I wasn't there, I understood that this is happening in many places, and it's the trick of sustainable, maybe, tourism that we are here for, how to maintain the pace of every place, because each place has a character, and it's very usual that tourists bring their own lifestyles there. And we noted also that Aegina is like two, how to say, δύο ταχυτήτων, two part, like the rural, that is
two worlds, two different worlds.
Yes,
yeah.
It's like the center where more people are gathering, all the tour guides and the coffee shops and restorations with Grigoris, for example, that is a very beautiful building. But also there are so much rural areas that I don't know if we even are allowed to go, like in the south, where are all monasteries, and maybe we can explore how we could feel in this island, because Aegina is like 3 out of 4 rural from the map, if we see that. And when we were talking in the beginning, we realized that we are talking about a very small region, but it's a very big island, and what we could offer for more potentials to other people, maybe, who would like to implement something like that in the whole island.
Yeah,
that is so true. I mean, for me, visiting Aegina, I found that the place got stuck a bit in time. It's a very beautiful place, but it has this kind of touristic vibes of Haiti that, you know, if it works like that, we're gonna carry on like that forever and ever, and we don't really care because it works and bring tourists. But in the end, it's not sustainable at all, and you can see it you can see it in every level. It's happening in every level. And then you go to the other part of the island, which is so like tranquil, natural, and nothing is happening there, nothing. And even if, you know, and what you propose is really important, because even if they're going there, they I don't know, like trails exist, nobody really knows about it. You really need to be into that in order to understand that these things are happening or not. So I think it's very important, you know, that if you identified all those kind of problems, and you provide this kind of small interventions that, you know, they might seem like someone you know, from the outside, they might seem minor, but bringing the ecological identity and connecting the historical identity is so important. Because, for example, like being in Aegina, there are so many, like there's so much history there, and so many buildings and ancient ruins, and I had to go to Wikipedia to read about Aegina. And it's impressive, you know, you have to go to Wikipedia being in Aegina and not being, like, you couldn't find information there. It's amazing. So it's congratulations. I think it's amazing.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the tutors also, because we were talking about it with the team, that they put us in the core of placemaking. It was like co-working, it was amazing experience.
Thanks,
we would like to see them again.
Thanks, everyone.
Exactly,
It was great, cooperation-wise, it was great.
And I wasn't very familiar with the placemaking, and I digested too many information. They helped me with this, really. That was brilliant. And I would like to add something small, that placemaking is about giving an identity to a place. But if the resident, if the people who live in this place, they doesn't have an identity, it's too difficult, and they don't have an identity really. That's what made me take it a little personal, to help with the proposals.
This is a tricky point of
the live for the
cosmopolitan
tourists,
area.
like all the islands, like yes.
This is a point of cosmopolitan.
This is a very good point. Egina is really, I think, all the things that you saw, like Despina saw, that Egina is stuck in time. All these things are really, I mean, they have the good side of them. Yes, to go back in time, it's always beautiful. You know, it's calming, reminds you of your childhood. You know, reminds you of films you've seen. So there's a good thing about being in time, but it has to be done consciously. You know, if it wants to be a village of the how you call them, the Templars or something, you know, you do that consciously. You know, you have a vision about your place. You're saying my place is a special place because it goes back in time. And, you know, you have your technology hidden away. You have everything hidden away, but the place looks old, but it's not really old because the systems works, the infrastructure works, you know, everything works. But it's not. It's stuck in time because nobody is really guiding the ship, you know, and that's one of the things that you hear in Egina. There's no vision about Egina. Egina is going like this for the past, I don't know, several decades. Nobody's really taking the task of saying, okay, we have a vision for the island. Let's create a vision for Egina. There's no such thing. So people, you know, they took on their own, you know, they look for their own life, trying to make a living. You know, whoever is more aggressive does more business or goes to Athens. It's really a very, it's a lot of speeds. You know, you spoke about 2 speeds. It's many speeds of Egina. So it's an interesting case, and it's also very fragile because it can go in the wrong direction as well. Of course, you know, there's always the danger.
Yeah, the good and the bad thing being that close to Athens.
Yes. You know, it's a good thing it's close to Athens because there are boats, but it's sometimes it's a bad thing because it's too close. But it's a good thing that there are no boats at night. So the island sort of closes its gates. It's like a gated city. You know, the gates close. You know, after the last ship leaves the island, the gates close. You know, that's it. And so it's an interesting case. Egina is a very interesting case. Yeah, it's not like Poros, for example, where you can drive to Poros, or other islands where you can drive, or you can easily take a small boat. Egina is really sort of separate, but also connected. It's really interesting.
About what you said about the initiative in Egina, what we were talking with the tutor is that placemaking can also start from your house. So maybe this is even a new, let's say, strategy that we could educate people about how we could start placemaking as a theory in our homes, like how we build them, how we live, because this is a lifestyle and it's not a 2 hours tour, for example. This is a big project about owning the place, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Always pleasure.
Congratulations, the team.
Shall we move to the last workshop?
Yeah, last but not least.
Yes, that's right, with Theodora and Fatumi. And the 2 girls.
Hello, Ilias and Despina. Hello to everyone.
Hello.
It was a very, very joyful workshop, although this time online. We will hear from the bright Clary and Dimitra presenting their very productive work they have designed just in a few days.
Hello from us too. We can start share screen. Yeah. Okay. The aim of this project is to revive the thermal springs of Souvala in Egina through a bioclimatic design study of a small-scale thermal bath facility for medical and spa tourism. The thermal baths in Aegina were well known since the antiquity, but they have been abandoned for many decades now. The design proposal is a small thermal therapy and wellness center, which the purpose which is to attract people from all ages, with the possibility to extend the touristic period in the winter. During the design process, emphasis given in ecological, environmental, and historical issues, as well as in health aspects, incorporating nature into architecture. The small complex we created is estimated for an average 50 persons per hour, with a thermal water of approximately 45 cubic meters per hour. Well, the project is in Suvala Bay, and this is in the northern part of the island. Our project is a ground floor complex of buildings of approximately 1,200 square meters. There is already an old building which incorporate in our design. This is this is the old building we incorporate in our design, and will play the role of the reception area and the entrance of the whole complex. And then with a path which is some protected with trees, it goes to the main building, to the main complex of buildings, where there is a main area with a big pool with thermal water, and a big atrium which stays in the heart of the whole building, with the different functions, which include hammam, or jacuzzi area, or private baths and massage. With the atrium plays the heart of the building and connect all these functions, but also plays a very vital role to the bioclimatic design of the building, because firstly bring the nature in the building. The connection with the nature is direct. It plays a little bit the role of the old yard of the traditional architecture of the island. There are some arcades that surrounds the whole building, that goes around this area. And there are, okay, for our bioclimatic design, we have used different kind of different kind of passive systems, and for example, we used we used the tree planting, and the trees we used are local trees like pistachio trees, olive trees, and conifers. These trees are, we have divided these trees to evergreen and deciduous, so we can use the deciduous trees on the south, because in the summer they have their leaves and they can provide shade, which is really important for the summer. And but for the winter is they are without leaves, and they let the sun come into the building. And on the north part, we use more evergreen plants and trees, because they are protecting the building from the northern winds. We also use green roofs and shading pergolas with vine plants, which are also very well known to the island, because they used to make wine, for what we have learned in this workshop. And arcades and all these systems helps to decrease the temperature, especially in summer, in the warm summer of Greece,
and create a microclimate that targets the a design that connects people with nature. And yeah, I think. Bioclimatic design is achieved with a building facing 100% south for maximum thermal gains in the winter and for easy sun protection in the summer. While the main building here has a smaller, has a smaller northern elevation. Also, passive thermal gains are achieved through southern windows, as you can see here and here, Trombi walls, and winter garden on the southern part of the atrium, which is here. This winter garden can be converted to an outdoor space in the summer by removing its glazing and storing it into cupboards. Natural cooling is achieved through shading the elevation with arcades and green roofs. With arcades, as you can see here, and green roofs. In the south, movable horizontal tents protect protect the yes, protect the windows and Trombi walls in the summer, and in the east, movable blinds hanging from the outer edge of the eastern pergola protect from the hot eastern summer sun, as you can see right here. Sorry, right here. From the eastern, it protects the building from the eastern hot summer sun. Atrium plays an important, as Claire said before, role for cooling in summer, enabling northern and northwest summer breezes, as you can see in this diagram, penetrating into its heart. Water, also water and trees in the center enhance natural cooling. And in the main building, there is this big skylight opening, which acts as a cooling chimney with vertical ventilation and stack effects here. We also have triple glazing in the north part of the building, so we are protected from thermal losses in the winter. For example, these windows, these openings and these openings, they have triple glazing. We have sufficient natural lighting in the whole building because we have used a lot of openings on the walls, but also on the roofs. We have a rain collection, water collection, which is also a tradition in the islands, but also very important for Egina because we learned that there is a big problem with water. And the plan is this water to be used partly for watering and cleaning or other functions of the building. The materials we used are natural and local. There is, okay. There is stone, earth plaster, wool insulation. We have timber, laminate timber on the ceilings. The structure we need to have. We have a reinforced concrete structure, and but the walls are covered with Tantelact, which is, we have discussed with our leaders that there is also, maybe there is a lot of volcanic earth on the island, maybe we can use it because the Tantelact materials are used for the spaces that needs waterproof. So spaces where there is a lot of humidity. We have a discussion that there was the idea to use earth cluster, but or block from earth blocks. But the discussion was that earth blocks are not very they don't react very good with humidity, and that's why we use this Tantelact earth with concrete. We use on the floors and on the walls stone, as like I said before, laminated timber on the ceilings, and a lot of wood. We have also some improvements to the old building, okay, which is also insulated. We use some insulation there also, and we put some shades and some pergolas also on the south part with vines. Also, we use that in the parking places where we also have some solar panels, which I speak in a little bit about that. We also use some, we incorporate also some zombie walls after that, and in this way we improve the energy consumption of the building. We have also a green roof also there. Also, yeah, exactly. We only with a passive system, the whole building have a really good, the consumption of energy of the building is really, really low. But after a long discussion also with mechanical engineer, we were convinced that we need some mechanical, also mechanical system, active systems, but which they are using as basic, as energy source, the thermal energy, which we have because of the thermal water that we have in this area. So we use the thermal water to make the building warm as heating energy, but also, you know, exactly, and heating energy. And when there is not enough, then we can use, we can make the water warm again with the use of electricity, which is produced from the solar panels we have incorporated in our design, and they are placed on our parking space area. It is about 170 square meters of solar panels here. It is about the half of our parking place. And this electrical energy we can use to also support all the systems that provide heating and cooling, mechanical heating and cooling. Another system we use is our main heating system is heat pumps, which use this geothermal energy, and which is also support from a two-pipe system, supply and return with the ending to fan coils. This is because geothermal energy for cooling is not always, doesn't give the results we want, but this is only for the spaces where there are offices or secondary functions. for example, in hammams or in other places, we don't need anything from heating systems or cooling. But apart from this, all these systems, like we said, they use alternative energy sources, geothermal energy, also some solar panels. And that's why our building is
according to the mechanical engineer we collaborate with. The building is ranked in energy category A+, and is regarded as a nearly zero energy building. That's all. Thank you very much.
We are, yeah. It was a really, we learned a lot in our workshop. We want to thank our leaders. We learned a lot of things that we didn't have the time to show all the things that we've learned and all the systems that we use, like Trombi walls and passive system, like all the shades and how someone gives the slope that they need to have in order to protect our buildings from sun or wind or anything. Yeah, and this is our result.
Congratulations. First of all, for the amazing work that's done. We were just two, and I can't believe you've done all this work in just like 4 days, 3.5 days. So first of all, congratulations for that. And
Esmina, we can't hear you well. Please keep your microphone.
Sorry, yeah,
close to
sorry.
the
I was
mouth.
saying
Thanks.
that congratulations, because first of all, the group was really small, and the amount of work and the quality of work is impressive. Is stunning. I saw the panel. I was like, oh wow, crazy. And
we have a lot of support. Yeah.
A lot of
and sorry.
We had a lot of support and help for our leaders, to be honest. And that was amazing, because like I heard before, it was like co-working, and it was really important to see also this part. For us, it was also very important.
It's great. I think sometimes, if the workshops are a bit smaller, they can be a bit more inclusive, and it can actually help to understand and to learn a bit in depth things that otherwise in a much larger workshop would be really difficult, to focus. Yeah, it's impressive, the amount of work, and you try to incorporate a bit of everything. I'm not an expert, in bioclimatic architecture, but I totally trust, Theodora and Fotini about, because I know that they're definitely experts on that. But it's very interesting because the last days of being in Aegina, I actually stayed in Souvala. I was very close to the spa, and to the thermal bath actually. So when I asked locals, when can we go there? What's the route there? Like, no, don't go there. There's nothing there. So I think, yeah, I think that could be something that can bring life into the space, and can create this kind of alternative, and health environment that we are all looking for, and this quality that we're all looking for when we visit a place. Elias, I want to add something maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I will share my amazement with the amount of work and the quality of the work and the depth of the work, and I mean, it's really like, looks like a fully preliminary design scheme that's it's been worked out in a high quality and worked out all the bioclimatic aspects and alternative energy, heating, cooling aspects, and it's really impressive. So congratulations. We will definitely try to promote your images, with all the closing materials that we will be sending out. So we hope that you see your name, the group's name, and of course the workshop leader's name attached to it. It's quite amazing, you know, the thermal baths, the thermal springs, as it better should be called, because there's a lot of argument, and we've experienced that very briefly with the experts of thermal baths versus thermal springs versus thermal baths. When you define something as thermal baths, you limit the amount of use you can make of it, so that you have to call it thermal springs, so that thermal springs, it's something that can be utilized and can be used and exploited by more users and people in ways, and it's also more therapeutic and not sort of purely you know, a very specific process, as it used to be. Like thermal baths used to be like somebody comes into a bathtub, stays there for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or half an hour, and then they go out. Well, using it as thermal springs, you can create a spa, you can create health uses, you can create a lot of different sub-uses that can bring people throughout the year. So I think what you're proposing here, it's more diverse, it's more inclusive, and it's more it definitely can be really a minefield for not a minefield, but a gold minefield for the hotels around it, that will bring tourists like bees, and they will of course stay into the hotels nearby, and that will bring more business throughout the year. So it could be a brilliant idea to think about how the surrounding hotels of Suvalla can support such a project, because that will be a focus, a magnet for tourism throughout the year. I like the design. I like the modesty of the design. I like the sophisticated modesty of the design. It looks like almost like the site of the museum in Colonna, which is a different site, but it has this modesty and this sophistication and this sort of traditional architecture with a courtyard that you find at the museum in Colonna. And I think that's a beautiful design that could be very, very suitable for this spot and for Egina, and a very good example for Egina to bring also architects to see how bioclimatic design works. And it's a public building, so it can be open throughout the year, and not a private house where you have to arrange for a visit. So that's also a way to attract tourism throughout the year, you know, architects and designers to come and see how it's done. So I think this building could be an amazing contribution to both to Suvalla and to Egina as a whole. And I really share what Despina said about the locals, you know, telling Despina not to go there, there's nothing to do there. That's basically the attitude in Egina. You know, there's a lot of places where they tell you, don't go there, there's nothing to do there. Or leave it, it can be done, it cannot be done, you know, nothing can be done about it. So this is the attitude that you find in Egina a lot, and that's why the island has been stuck in the 80s. But it's also a good thing, you know, because a lot of things have been preserved, and now maybe it's time for some things to move forward, like the thermal baths, thermal springs. Of course, Fotini and Theodora are aware of the complexity of this, you know, whether the springs are still alive, how much water they bring out, how much volume of water they bring out. So there's a lot of investigation that has been done by experts in order to see if there's water to begin with, in order to start designing something. But these are the experts that have to do their work, and you did your share, and now these two have to come together, and the island has to move forward to doing something with it, if it's possible, of course. So congratulations. I mean, it's a beautiful project. It's brilliant, and it definitely gives a lot of food for thought that we'll try to promote through Egina and through other channels. Hopefully something will happen with it. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we hope that it will be an inspiration of the revival of thermal springs in Egina. And as you said, Ilia, it will be an example of how local and bioclimatical architecture can work in a public building. And there is an idea as well to have a little, a small exhibition area, maybe in the old building, because Despina mentioned that it is missing. When you go to Aegina, you don't have any information about Aegina. You have to go to Wikipedia. So it could be a point of information about Aegina's history, for example.
Yeah, but our
and
main,
the garden,
but our main,
yeah, and the garden, it could be like an exhibition of the local fauna, of the local flora of Egina.
Yeah.
You know, the pistachios and the local. It's beautiful. I think it's great.
Yeah, we try
Sorry
to
for-
incorporate all the local flora and fauna in the landscape of the building. But our main wish is like local people and people from the municipality. By seeing something like that, they can envision, oh, we could have something like that. How good would that be for our community and the local economy? And maybe that will give them ideas to research more and do more actions to revive the baths, which is a shame that, you know, they are not even, you know, they discourage you even to go there. So we're hopeful.
Great. We'll do our best to get the word out as much as possible.
Can I also add to thank, because in order to make this workshop happen, we had to work along with the local and Petros for many months prior to the workshop. So even if they're not here, we would really like to thank them for all the information they have provided us and all the coordination for, you know, bringing all the locals. Sorry, my English. Sorry, just to thank them for bringing all the information and all the coordination behind the workshop. Thank you very much, Fatni and Laura. And we know it was a very challenging week, and we're very impressed. And we're very impressed with all the workshops. So congratulations to everyone.
Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you, everybody, and congratulations to everybody. And I think we'll do the closing now. We will try to. I mean, the work was amazing. I think the ideas were great. I think it was totally what we wish to expect and even more. And we will definitely try to promote the work through Egina, through the local businesses, through the local people who may have some influence to maybe move things a little forward. It was a very challenging week. The online format had its problems. Maybe it has also its benefits, but it was definitely a challenge. We will summarize all the presentations and all the week, and we will send you something in a press release format. So try also to promote it through your channels as much as you can, so that you know, the word goes out that what we did, and you know, the value of what we did, and the ideas that were developed, and the values that were brought into the project. So, you know, all this should come out, because we should keep reminding architects and designers, you know, those who set the rules, that, you know, there are other rules as well that are sometimes forgotten, and we should keep on reminding them of those rules. And thank you for being part of creating, you know, giving format to those rules, and to also teaching them, the workshop leaders teaching them also to the younger architects and designers and other disciplines that joined us. So thank you all for this amazing process. And I would like to thank our team also for organizing this entire project, you know, for many months. And to thank Despina, of course, for the collaboration, for joining in Egina, and for taking a lot of the load of this long process.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Just a reminder, we're going to send you the diploma, so within the week.
We would appreciate if you could fill in all the, if you haven't done it yet, all the questionnaires form, the feedback form, because it always helps to improve the organization and the next event. If you feel, if you want to upload a bit more materials, or if you want to download stuff on the Google Drive, we will keep the folder open until Monday. So feel free to save your work or download things, and we'll send you everything within the week. And from my side, I would also like to thank Elias for the support, for the cooperation once again. This year has been really challenging for the ECOWEEK team. The rest of the team has been with us for more than a year now, and they put together many events, as we said before. Of course, all of you, the workshop leaders, the speakers, everything with us, all of our partners, and of course participants, because without you, you know, the event wouldn't take place anyway. So I think you are the core of this organization anyway. So thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
And a special thank you to our friends from China who joined us for ECOWEEK and for this internship. So thank you for joining, and we hope it was meaningful and educational for you as well. Great. See you all again in the next event. Let's stay in touch.
See you. Goodbye.
Maybe you can open your cameras. We can take maybe a screenshot with all the smiles. Despina, can you do that? Can you take this shot? Because
no, because
my print screen has a problem.
I can't, because I also have a problem.
Yeah, my screen.
Because
I can send it to you too.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, do that.
Let's go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, yay. Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thank you all. Please send us by email the shot, because I had a problem. I can't take it. I have to restart my computer. Okay.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Have a great winter, great fall, great winter, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And good luck placemaking your places. I will do. Bye.
Bye-bye.